Alright, but jumping into the game, the first game is going to played on Polar Night. It's a best of 3 as usual, and in the top we have the orange Zerg player playing for Team AC Visualize, hailing from your country, the Netherlands.
Yep, and his opponent for mouse control will be the ever feminine color purple. It is from it is NEEK. That's the Protoss player.
Wait. Whoa there. What do you mean ever feminine color?
Well, if you choose purple, that's a little bit feminine, right? It's okay. It's not.
I
not wrong.
I
It's alright.
like purple as well.
That just says something about you, Bell, not about everybody else.
What? What? What?
There you go. You'll be rooting for NEEK, and I'll be rooting for Fmtc because he's orange, and that's the Dutch color, a real man's color.
I will get back to you with this, Odin. This is not the last time we see each other, Mr. Anderson.
Yep.
Oh, I wish I had Agent Smith's powers right now, because I would probably do something very nasty for that. I will have my revenge at the live finals. Just you wait.
Alright, I hope so. It's gonna be a blast. It's the 5th and 6th of July, of course, in the Brabanthallen. I don't know how to say that in English, so I'll just say it in Dutch. If you're going there, you're going to the Netherlands either way, so better practice that dialogue a little bit. And it's going to be a lot of fun, of course. Go to dscl.nl for all the information on that. But right now we're gonna have to see if one of these two guys is going to make it. We do have a pool first from Fmtc. That looks like he's going to expand after that, which is very safe on this map. But out of these two, Patrick, who do you think has the advantage?
You know what? On this map, I don't know the skill levels of these guys precisely. How well matched are they against one another? But considering the map, I would say that the Protoss player NEEK has a slight advantage here, just because of how difficult it can be to hold on to your third. Especially since this is a Forge opening, so, you know, a lot of Immortal Sentry all-ins could come out of this, or maybe a heavy Phoenix play, who knows. I would be in favor of the 2 base all-ins, I'd say. I mean, you hit the third hard, you hit it fast, you take it out, you continue to the natural, and even if you cannot kill your opponent outright, you can just retreat because you will have killed so many drones that it doesn't even matter, and you can take your own third as a Protoss, assuming the Zerg player does not defend absolutely fabulously. So
yeah, on this map I've seen that a lot of times it also comes down to a very early creep spread is something that can really help defend these hard bases. Because the third base on this map is just a nightmare, like you say, as a Zerg player. And for the Protoss player, it's so easy to take a little bit of an advantage over that, and we're gonna have to see if he does spend that out. But on this map, it's not easy. But if you get to the later game and you get a good creep spread and you get some unit compositions, there are actually a lot of unit compositions that will work. Mutas I've seen work on this map, and also the roach play. Even swarm hosts are not.
Oh yeah,
terrible
now that you mention it, what I love on this map, when Zergs do, is actually a very aggressive swarm host roach push. I mean, it comes way quicker than if you're just massing swarm hosts and turtling like Stefano likes to do. And the roaches give it so much support that, and especially if the Protoss player wants to go for a third base rather quickly, it just works wonders. It's so good, man. I mean, I just love that build. I love to see it in the works. But so far, considering there is +1 on the way for NEEK, I don't think this is going to be a Stargate. I actually assume we're going to see a Robo pretty fast. No, he's adding on additional gateways, so I don't know. This is a little bit weird.
Oh, he's adding a gateway, a second one right now. Still nothing out of the ordinary. Fmtc will scout these 3 gateways. Wait, no, yep, 3 gateways being added on, but still 4 gateways is not anything cheesy so far.
This is, it almost looks like he wants to go for a gateway pressure here with the +1 upgrade. Harassing with 2 Zealots and a Mothership Core, that's pretty goddamn good. The Queen is probably going to go down. No way he's going to save that. And he caught his Zerg opponent off guard a little bit And the pylons for reinforcement warpins have finished already as well, so yeah, the third base may very well go down. 3 roaches are just about to hatch, but you know, that's not enough. NEEK has 7 larvae, but he's not producing anything. I mean, this is peculiar to me.
And this is gonna be really tricky. He lost 2 queens already. He hasn't taken care of the mothership core. There's 2 queens in production, 1 will hatch, but he needs to take care of the mothership core. The roaches will kite these zealots, but the mothership core is being very annoying as well. Can start targeting the weakened roach, and now with the stalkers, I feel like this could be a very fast game even if he starts pushing on, because there's not that much on production. 6 roaches, okay, 14 links, that's going to be enough, but they're gonna come out in pairs and they're gonna come out from every side, so this base is gonna be close, but it looks like NEEK isn't focusing it, he's focusing the roaches, and it's gonna be very tricky, but I feel like this third base should die.
Yeah, it should, but you know, even though
Oh, the Zerglings are there!
Oh my god, okay, he's pulling back the Stalkers, warping in a couple of Zods. He overstayed his welcome just there. I think that last warp-in actually should not have happened because the Mothership Core does not have enough energy for a recall, so... But you know what, the Mothership Core could... Okay, there's a Queen, never mind. If the Queen had not come, the Mothership Core could have potentially killed off the hatchery by itself. I mean, I've seen that happen. Meanwhile, NEEK has taken a third base, he's getting his robo-up, he's getting additional cannons. FMTC's chance here is just to try to quickly mass a big enough army to hit his opponent right now. Obviously he needs at least link speed to finish, a couple of rounds of drones to saturate that third base, but I wouldn't dilly-dally too long if I were him here. Does he even know about the third base? No, but now he's gonna know, and he's gonna be like, oh my god. No.
Yeah, he can either start taking a fourth base himself, or he can start doing some pressure. But it looks like he might be going to the natural expansion, and that could work actually. If he snipes the zealot, could even run in with some links. Needs the roaches for that though. But this is gonna alert the army back there, and now it's gonna be a little bit difficult to make something happen there because there's not enough to really deal with the army of NEEK. He is surrounding the stalkers with the Zerglings, but I don't feel like there's quite enough. There are some force fields. As well, he needs a little bit more units, and the Mothership Core is being ever so annoying, by the way.
Oh yeah, it definitely is, and it's providing NEEK a nice vantage point. Yeah, he knows exactly where the army is. This was really patient from NEEK. He did not rush headlong into an engagement with those Lings and Roaches. He just patiently waited at his third base, because he knows that if that army gets close to that Zealot at the choke, at the natural, he can just move his army and force field the Roaches off and kill them. All of them. Every single one.
I feel like we might see Mutas here though, because I don't really see any units on the production tab. He's saving up gas for quite some time, and the Spire is halfway finished. All I've seen him make are some Zerglings and drones, so that really does indicate that he might want to go for the Muta switch. He is adding Overlords as well for when the Spire finishes. So he could start getting a little bit of an advantage that way, and if you check the main base of our Protoss player, he could fly in there with Mutalisks and do a lot of damage, and the army is way out of position because he has really not scouted this yet, and there is now a Phoenix, an Illusion Phoenix trying to scout, but he needs to see that Spire, Bell, and I think he does right now.
Let's see if he saw that one.
Yep, he should.
Yeah, he did. He did see the Spire, and you know what? Blink is about 50% down, so actually if he chrono boosts that out and starts moving out right now, which he is doing, and if he starts to warp in predominantly Stalkers at this point, I think he will hit the Zerg player at a critical time where he does not have enough Mutalisks to win the game outright yet, and he will have to use them in conjunction with those Zerglings to defend and stay alive. All he needs to do is get up proxy pylons. He's moving across the map. Where is the Mothership Core though? It's moving with the army. The Mutas are hatching. Oh, this Ling and Roach Force could do considerable damage at natural, but I feel that he will have to pull those back.
Well, right now there's gonna be 13 Mutas, and in a base race they are going to win the game because there's not enough Stalkers to even deal with the Mutas, so he's gonna have to recall. I feel like that's a good decision, because if he went for a base race there, he would have lost, for sure. I've seen that scenario played out many of times. He is going to lose a few pylons on the map, and 22 Zerglings on the way, but there's no Stargate on the way. There's no Archons or Storm on the way. There's just Stalkers Do they even have Blink? They have Blink.
They have. The +2 is on the way as well. I think he's trying to force an engagement. He's trying to force Fmtc to fight that army, and thus preventing the base race situation. But Fmtc, I feel like he's too smart for that. He knows that he would have lost that head-on engagement, so he tries to force the base race himself. Will this work though? Oh, the front is open! The doors have been left wide open! The photon overcharge has been triggered, so the army moves to the third base while the Spire is going down, limiting the mobility of the Zerg army. Fmtc queuing up 8 more Mutalisks as a last measure. Natural going down, no doubt the main base will go down as well. Spinecrawlers, emergency Spinecrawlers, too little, too late there, Zerg buddy. Oh, this will be close, but I still feel like the Protoss player has the upper hand. He can. Oh, wait a minute, the Mothership Core has been sniped, right? So he can't recall.
Yeah, the Mothership Core has been sniped. He can't recall, and one of the things that's really helping NEEK here is the 2 Immortals, because they take care of the building so fast right now.
Yeah.
And he did warp in 7 extra Stalkers, but there's 14 Spinecrawlers on the way. 14! So that's gonna be very hard for him to break, and if he decides to defend with the Mutas at the place where the Spinecrawlers are, there's no way that NEEK is going to break that position. And if he loses all of his drones, probes I mean, then there's no way of him to win this game. Really, there won't be a way for him to win this game. He's gonna try to send some Stalkers to his main base and hold it off, but with the Zerglings underneath, I don't know if it's enough. This is gonna be very close. This is the fight he has to win. If he loses this, it's gonna be all over.
You know what? He doesn't have to win this. He's got the rest of the army coming in. He needs to be... All he has to do is to be as cost efficient as possible. The cannons are finishing up. The Mutas are getting weakened. The rest of the army is coming back across the map. Majority of that are Stalkers. Mutas are retreating, and NEEK's hauled onto his main base. I think this was pretty well done. He took out 3 bases, basically. All of the tech... NEEK cannot build any units. I mean, Fmtc cannot build any units right now, and he's losing more Mutalisks.
Oh, that's a bad move. He needs to defend at the Spinecrawlers, but right now I think NEEK might have done it, because he can still warp in Stalkers, and Fmtc can't make anything except Zerglings, and he can't make too many of those either. I mean, they're really good against Stalkers, luckily for him, but it's gonna be very hard. He is rebuilding some of his bases on the map, and I mean, NEEK also lost a lot, and he doesn't have a lot of resources left. And these 2 Immortals are trying to break the Spinecrawler wall, and they're doing it 1 Spinecrawler at a time, and it's so hard for these Mutas to do any sort of damage. And this is a very close game, and it looks like the drones are being pulled off the line here, Bell. This is very, very scary for Fmtc here.
Well, Fmtc is getting his lair back up. I think he's trying to... Well, no, he doesn't have enough time for that. I mean, this army is too strong for him right now. He's forced to fight it with his drones once more. And this is just a matter of time, in my opinion. It's not like Fmtc has even the means or the resources to do anything. He's down to 100-something minerals. Can't produce anything anymore, and he's losing even more Mutalisks here. This is looking very, very bad in game number 1 for Fmtc.
Yep, this is GG, and it all came down to one point where he lost a lot of Mutas to barely anything, because he was still in a very much winnable position with the Spinecrawlers, the ground forces, and especially the Mutas in the air. If he would have made enough Zerglings to complement the Mutas, I feel like he could have taken out those Immortals and Stalkers, because that's all you need, Mutas and Zerglings. They do really well against that army composition, but he lost a lot of Mutas for free to the Stalkers, and then the Immortals just started working on 1 Spinecrawler at a time. Very patient by NEEK, and managed to scratch out that game.